Hi, this is George Lees presenting episode 2 of the massive committee of 300 listings of all the Piso relatives that are the world owners. This one is Prince Carlos of Bourbon Parma, that's the Bourbons of Versailles. That is the Louis dynasty and Saint Louis, with multiple wives, every one of those Christian saints. And he is the Duke of Parma in Italy and Piacenza, all the Piso jokes. He's a pretender contested to the Carlist claim to the throne of Spain under the name Carlos Javier, Ja for God, and that is Charles Xavier II, head of the House of Bourbon Parma. Let's get a move on. That we're only dedicating less than 15 minutes to every one of these episodes. There he is again, just above. That's on the official listing of the Committee of 300 with Mark Carney, who there is at the World Economic Forum meeting at Davos in 2013. He was trained at the Bank of International Settlements, and many of this listing are the heads of the Bank of International Settlements, and many of them die really young, preceded by Mervyn King on the board of every Rothschild company that John Patterson and I talked about, Governor of the Bank of England. They've changed his salary statistics since I reported that he gets 800 grand a year plus 200 grand of housing allowance. He married Diana Fox. See B8 and B20 bankers on the next tab. That is likely to be the Fox News empire launched by Warner Brothers, whose real name is Krasnosiel, Lacker, and they came from the death camp region where Kaiser Wilhelm, the ancestor of these people, had his hunting lodge just across the Polish border, right next to Treblinka. There is Polos, Villeroy de Gulha, Wiedheim, Visco, Karudna, Nabielina, Carney, Janet Yellen and Mario Draghi. So they've already gotten rid of the predecessor of Margaret Yellen, and I don't know how they get through all the battles of who's on the strategic committee without falling out with each other. Sturzenegger, Lowe, that is the famous name in the Dundee cemetery and in the massive Jewish Frankfurt ghetto. Goldfein, Polos, Zoo, Draghi, the current leaders of the European Union, all in the same mafia operation. Villeroy de Galhal, Wiedmann, that is the change of a letter, and you've got all the massive people that are involved in the war crimes. Patel, Martu Wardojo, Visco, Kuroda, Karstens, Nabielani, Al-Holife, Knagno, Lee and Bassi. The Billy Bass joke, right back into ancient Rome. And then Carney, the joke about Carnival in Austria. And there's Yellen, there's Cynthia Carroll, Chief Executive of Anglo-American PLC. Cynthia Carroll. Let's keep going. She is a platinum Illuminati. Do you get that now? All the Alois jokes about alloys and the platinums. This is Anglo-American Platinum. De Beers, she owns 85% of that. The Diamond Trading Company, and Element 6, the carbon tax on breathing for every one of the ordinary people. Next is that she is related, Cynthia Carroll, to, in business terms, to Ernest Oppenheimer, Harry Frederick Oppenheimer and the Parkers. There were the Parker Pen Company and the people that were involved in the Superman stories. That's the Oppenheimers that designed the bomb, and they become the Banking Standards Committee woman, that is Margaret Hodge. Next name is James Caruana, and this is one of the leaders of the Bank for International Settlements. Okay, I think this one is still alive. Yeah, many of them get it in the neck because God is now fighting back. He was also the governor of the Bank of Spain from July 2000 to 2006. He's currently in a 5-year term that was ended in 2013 at the general manager as the Bank for International Settlements in Basel, which is the Basel Faulty Jokes. Here's William Cassell. This is the covers for the Hesse-Cassell family that were the first employers of Rothschild. Yeah, and that then launches bizarrely all of the Jimmy Carr, Rudolf Hess, and even the Kennedy stories, because that is a change of their name. Yeah, when they moved to the west coast of Scotland and had their homes where Donald now has his massive golf course opposite the rock. Here is Anson Chan. This is the covers for Jacqueline Chan, who was my Facebook friend, but she is a head of, I believe, the one of the medical professions. Oh no, former Chief Secretary, British Colonial Government of Hong Kong. Yeah, so that is probably interlapping with Lord Patton, who we've never heard of since I made a 10-minute video on him in a couple of years ago. Yeah, there is Chan and Anson Chan, Nei Fang. Yeah, and these are the dragons that have been sent to slay. Margaret Chang, this one's the head of the World Health Organization. Yeah, and that is all of what they do with all of the immunization programs. It's got everybody scared shitless. Okay, there's another Chang. Yeah, do you see how Jacqueline Chang and her involvement in the killings, yet her brother was killed in the assessment of the banking world? All of that must be false news by the elites that run these committees. Norman Chang, okay, that was Jacqueline Chang's brother, was murdered in the bank that was run by Stephen Hester in Euston Road, where all of the people were murdered on 7/7. Yeah, there's Prince Charles, Prince of Wales, who murdered his wife, who married Camilla after he had had 2 children with her, and those are now the current claimants to the English throne, despite all of the shagging of Queen Victoria by the Rothschild dynasty. Chartres, Kali, Chipman, Chodiev, and here we've got Christoph, Prince of Schleswig-Holstein. Met him in the pubs too, yeah, or body doubles for him. He looks just like Bill Nye when his body double presented in Dundee's Witherspoons. Christoph, Prince of Schleswig-Holstein. Okay, that's Glucksburg, and all of the music of Gluck covers. Yeah, that is the music about getting to heaven. Yeah, and needing to pay the ferryman. Johnny Depp, I don't know if you're going to make it. Christoph, Prince of Schleswig-Holstein, Bill Nye lookalike, body double in Witherspoons, Dundee, the night before they ran out of food. These are the world's most... He probably took their assets away in his suitcase. Fabrizio Cicciotto, he is an Italian socialist. Yeah, there he is, having a laugh. Never heard of him. Let's move on quickly. This is Wesley Clark. He was in the Balkans as America's NATO leader. He fell out with Charles Guthrie and the British presence there, and to cover all of that up, that's Charles Guthrie of Dundee, who was the Tony Blair life peer and was on the board of the NM Rothschild Bank throughout the Balkans conflict, 20 years after Tony Blair had made him a lord. Yeah, this is the man who made the Waco bombings a necessity to cover up his involvement in the genocide in the Balkans, for which the USA, which the European Union got the Peace Prize for. Can you see why they fell out? Yeah, on their strategic management of who's going to take the blame for everything we've done. This is Britain's Minister without portfolio, still on the committee of 300 as far as I'm aware. The Miliband's are the only ones to have been booted out. Even the dead people like King that was the boss in the Netherlands and then became the boss for Eisenhower's armies. That is King the man that is let's move on. Kenneth Clark, Minister without portfolio. That's 10 minutes. There is a notorious picture of David Cameron's Deputy Prime Minister representing the Lib Dems, who before he went into office, like Michael Moore, the Secretary of State for Scotland, proclaimed that the Lib Dems would never impose fees on British students. There is Princess Anne with him and Lord Coe and Sir David Beckham. All of them are profiteers on the London Olympics Committee, organising committee, PIiste. I've got all their director numbers. They allowed Lord Condon to get new transport companies into London. They allowed him to miss out on the policing of the Olympics, and all of that money went to G4S and into their pockets. That is G4S, who is run by as a director by Malcolm Rifkind, who we'll see further down. And he was the Foreign Secretary for Tony Blair when they brutalised Iraq. There is the story of all of the people that interlock with the Clintons and the Fines of Bedfordshire. There are the stories that got Greg Hallett killed, and the fact that the Queen is the daughter of Winston Churchill, the sperm donor Winston Churchill, in the British American cigar tube. I'm not sure why that is in. It's because Bill Clinton is on the Committee of 300. He is the half sister of Queen Elizabeth II, and that is his spunk on Monica Lewinsky's little blue dress, which is the cover for all the stories about getting Hitler out of the bunker in Berlin, and Eva Braun wearing the little blue dress. All of them in the same family. Hitler was sired by Rothschild. And there is Dick Cheney of Bedfordshire, Tuddington, where my wife was following the car when its wheel came off right in front of her. And there is the laundering of Hitler across the River Spree and out of Lake Mugglesey, by the people that were the Saunderses. They were in the elections 2 elections back when Obama was a contender. There's Abby Joseph Cohen, Goldman Sachs, the famous banking names. Gary Cohn is on the Committee of 300. He's an investment banker, chief economic advisor to President Donald Trump. What a con, eh? Okay, that's 13 minutes. Let's make it 15 minutes at a time. Marc Antonio Colonial Principe de Paliano. What is this? Colliano de Paliano. Everything that starts with a P. This is Marc Antonio de Paliano. Old, decrepit, seen his body double in the pub too. Obvious links to the British monarchy. And everybody that is wearing those Emperors in Malta gizmos, and that is the same badges as the global police wear, because they are the Piso family's polis. Prince Constantine of the Netherlands. This is the lowlands of Holland that flood. Prince Constantine is the third and youngest son of Dutch Queen Beatrix and her husband Klaus von Amsberg. You should see what I've discovered. And there is Justice for Grenfell. He's on this listing further down. That's the protesters, the know-nothings that pretend that they care about our country, but just take the Bank of England's money, and they pretend that they're happy with that, and they pretend that they're protesting against all the corruption that they totally protect. There's Prince Friso of Orange Nassau. He was born in 1968, died in 2013, because he is, I believe, directly, he's got the Piso name and a parody of that, and he was lived in Huis ten Bosch Palace, The Hague, Netherlands. Yeah, Drakenstein, yeah, the dragon again, castle. Yeah, and he was slain by God at the age of 68, 2 makes him 32, 42, 47 years old when he died. Okay, and all of the sudden deaths in the cancer, neurology, and all the pathology sectors, none of their web pages have been updated since 2015 because of the massive number of the Star Wars victims. Yet his initial coma later progressed to a minimally conscious state, and it was unclear if he would ever regain full consciousness. On 12th August 2013, the Prince Friso died of complications. Okay, gonna stop there, God. Thank you for coming back into the game.